Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today we might just be doomed from the start. On the Zodiac deck, the extra planet cards and tarot cards in the shop aren't usually immediately useful, and even the ones that are useful still cost money. Money which you could be saving for interest or probably should be spending on early jokers instead. Overall, I think the Zodiac deck, one of the more difficult decks, still my favorite. As always, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go Gold Stake Zodiac deck. Alright, first boss is clubs. In the first round, we have 4 spades right away. We could try to go for the spade flush. Lately, I've been experimenting with throwing away the low cards, so 6, 3, and 2, probably we throw those away. If we throw these away, maybe we also throw away the 3 of clubs. So we could draw a 10, we could draw diamonds here. We have 4 clubs now, so maybe we're supposed to go for the clubs flush. And I think we keep the 2. We already threw away the 3, but I think we keep the 2. The first discard is different from the second discard. Now that I have only 1 discard left, I'm slightly less picky. So keep the 2, probably. We have queens and 2s could be a full house. I think the full house is actually worse than the flush. The flush scores more points and then gets us close enough we can follow up with could be a pair of 2s, could be a pair of queens. Okay. In the first shop we could get ramen. I probably want the ramen. It's expensive. $6. Yeah, let's take the ramen. It's perishable, kind of. It doesn't have to be perishable if we just don't use any discards. It's not a rental, which is nice. Let's see. So, alright. Option 1. We could do something like this. We could play high card and try to dig for a jack. So you play high card once, you play the king high straight, assuming that we get the jack. That's a 2-hander. If we maybe do... I can keep the queen, I could do something like this. Then we have a higher chance of getting the jack. We could also get clubs as a flush. Or we could do 10s and 9s as 2 pair. 2 pair maybe normally 100, 120 points. So then with the ramen it's going to be 240. We could win with 2 pair twice. Maybe. So maybe we throw away the 4, play the 2 pair. I think that gives us the best chance of winning in as few hands as possible. That's 230. This 2 pair kings and 7s, I think that doesn't work. It'll be a little bit short. We could discard and then try to get a clubs flush. I think it's worth it to keep the ramen around. Because this doesn't win, it costs us extra hands, it costs us extra money. I think it's probably worth it. The idea being, like, let's say this was the bus. If it was the bus, you would play extra hands to get extra mult. Here we're playing extra hands to keep the mult. Maybe. Throw away a 2, keep the 5, I guess. So, bummer. I guess pair of jacks. 3 hands instead of 2 hands is not the worst. I probably want a Mercury card with ramen. Usually we play pairs. Sure. In that case, do we want a slide joker? Probably not as a rental. We can take splash and then sell it after we use it. Alright, here we could try to get a diamonds flush. We can try to play the pairs. Now that we have the leveled up pairs. Sure. So we could play a pair of 7s. And then splash in these. Should I splash in the king? Instead of do something like that? So this is a higher pair. Sure. Okay, that's 300. That's nice. I have a full house. Full house, we can sell splash. Then ship it. Yes. Okay. $9. Square as a rental. This boss play one hand. Handy tag for $7. If I take square as an eternal rental, I am concerned what the rental might do to me. Maybe the handy tag bails us out. I'm concerned what happens if we don't take the rental. I do like square, especially if we have the level 2 pairs. I think I do take it. Then go next. Now we just need some scaling plus molt, and then that's it. Then we win. Alright. So here, pair of queens or 3 queens is about the same. So I guess I play the 3 queens. Slightly punished if we find, what is it, supernova later. But I'm going to play the queens, that way we have a better chance of drawing other pairs. Or do we want to keep the diamonds? Maybe keep the queen and draw jack. Let's play... With Robin, we should be okay. Let's play 3 queens. Alright. Now we could play a pair of 3s. Low on 2s. And throw away a 5. Okay. The pair or the 2 pair. The pair is actually better because we have more molt. I can play a pair of 6s. I could throw away a 9 and a 10. This doesn't win. That's like 300, and then we can play a pair of aces. Okay. So rental fee takes me down to 5. But then we get $1 of interest. So $6 is not bad. In an emergency, we can sell the ramen and buy something. Or probably we want judgment. We can try to get something that's non-perishable. Handy tag is $11. So judgment gives me a red card. That's good. Do we play or do we skip? I think we take the rental and then we skip. Probably. 2 rentals and then skip instead of play. Is that better? Yeah, that's probably better. So misprint and then go next. $11, sure. It's not a lot of money, but I am maybe a little bit desperate. So now that we have the molt from misprint, the 2 pair is better than the pair because it's more chips. Is the 2 pair going to be enough, or should we discard? This probably works. How much molt do we need? We need about maybe 5 or more, maybe 6 or more. This should be fine. Yes. Alright. Now we're chilling. Okay, so I could take this washbuckler, then we don't need misprint anymore, which is nice. And we just have the 1 rental, which is okay. So let's do that. And then we should save our money instead of going Arcana packs here. And we should be okay with just the swashbuckler, I think. Let's go next. Okay. So now this is not a pair. Okay. So high card 7. That's not good. 500. Okay, as long as we get pairs, we're fine. So I could play a pair of 6s. Throwing away the 8. Okay, 1,000 points for that pair. I can play the pair of 9s. I can keep the straight. I think maybe is not necessary. If we need to, we can discard. I can play a pair of 9s. And then a pair of aces, or high card, doesn't matter. Okay, and then this boss, first hand face down, okay. Okay, and then now we get 1400 for a pair, so we can clear the next round. Alright, I think we're chilling now. Could be a trading card. That is money. So probably we do one of those and we get more mult for the swashbuckler. Let's go next. Alright, so now what do we can snap off a 2, I guess. And then play the 9s. Play the 9s. Alright, so that's 2,000. If we want, we can stall by putting ramen on the left. Is it worth playing an extra hand? Or do we want to save the hands for money for the square joker? Or for the rental fee? It's probably... yeah. I don't know. So I guess I will do it. No, the rental fee is going to be pretty brutal here. Let's just get out. Let's just play the pair of queens. Alright, we want to get a... Square joker doesn't have to be big for us to be successful. Square joker just has to get up to like 100. So let's try to get above the interest cap. Though, could be supernova here instead of a red card. I think I probably do that. I probably take a second rental here. I could keep the red card. I think if I have 2 rentals, then I'm probably not going to do the red card. Let's go Emperor first. Gives me a devil. Okay. So we got supernova. Let's go next. Alright, so here we can play any 4 cards, I guess. We can snap off whatever. Play 4 cards. I could use the world to flip over cards, but I kind of want to save the world for money. What happens if we do this? That's high card. Okay. Here's a king. So this is an ace probably. I can snap off the 5, maybe. I can play something which I know definitely isn't a pair, maybe. Snap off the 5. Alright. I think I want to stall here. Now we have 2 rentals, probably we want to get the maximum value. Let's do this. Let's go. I can use the devil here. What was that? That was a gold 10 is fine. And then I can play these 4. Ramen here or ramen here? Maybe ramen there. What's this? Pair of kings. Okay, and then this is not a pair, but we know we get 1,000 points even if it's not a pair. As far as what's left in my deck, I don't know off the top of my head. But we could go high card 7 here. Okay, and then this is my 10, so I guess I should have saved the devil. That's okay. I think I just take the money here. Let's go high card 10. Alright, with the supernova, we probably don't want to play high card long term. We do want to play the pairs. Alright, then there's another red card. I think we can't. I think we can't. Magician is interesting. Boss has decreased level. That's rude. I guess that means I don't want this priestess. We can go Spectral Pack 1. Gold seal maybe. So we got a gold 10. We could do a gold seal 9, I guess. or it could be an ace. Maybe a 9 is fine. And then spectral pack. Alright, there's the blue seal. So we could go blue seal. It could be a queen or an 8. How about a queen? That's it. And the world card, I guess it doesn't really matter if we use it or sell it. Let's go next. Alright, I think we're chilling. So we can snap off a 3. We can play a pair of 9s. The pair is 5,000. Okay, so if we want to stall by playing more pairs, we can put ramen on the left. Though this might win anyway. Okay. I can play gold seal 9 for the money. I think is probably worth it. Sure. Alright. Then 2 more rounds trading card. There's a foil we can't afford. There's a devil if I drop the world and then go next. Alright, so we can snap off a 4 if we want. Play a pair of 5s. Pair of 5s we know is like 5,000. Okay. Pair the 6s. Let's do ramen on the left. So pair of 6s. That's 3,000. I can play a pair of 8s for another 3,000. I'm looking for one more 9 here. And then we can go blue seal queen. So probably now we play the pair. This boss is going to de-level my stuff. So we don't use the blue seal right away. Alright, one more round trading card. Alright, Hermie we cannot. I guess we can hold on to it. This boss decreased level of poker hands. So do we want a certificate? Probably not. A 3rd rental? Probably. Hold on to Hermie and go next. Alright, so my pairs are gonna get de-leveled. Probably we play him anyway. We can snap off a 3. We can sell the trading card. I don't know if that matters, but we could sell it. I guess we want the swashbuckler value. So I can play a pair of queens. This is how much? Like 6,000? Okay. I could do another one without winning. And then now if we want, can I play the gold seal without winning? I don't know off the top of my head. It will be like, this is 100 times 10. It'll be like 1,000 points if we do that. I want to do the gold seal. Let's sell the trading card. So the swashbuckler is even smaller. Let's go high card 9. Okay, I do Hermie to make room for the blue seal, and then we can play the pair. Alright, and then I think now we're chilling. The 2 Mercury cards, let's not use them right away in case we find a fool. Could be a free reroll. Is pretty good. Garbage tag for 15, I think we don't need. Go one more. Strength we don't need. Business card, probably not. I guess let's use Mercury and go next. Alright, so 25,000. Let's do ramen on the left. So pair the 7s. Alright, so that's 6,000. I can play a pair of 9s. Throwing away the 8 and the 7. Let's do this. So that's going to be 12,000-ish. And then now we know I can play kings and then aces. Then we're done. Okay, the aces, and then we got the blue seal. No problem. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. This boss, diamonds are debuffed. That's okay, it looks like. And then, could be a mime for the gold cards and the gold seal value. Or sorry, not the gold seal, but the blue seal. Probably mime. Probably mime instead of the free reroll here. Though, the free reroll could give us a lot of other stuff. I think I like taking the mime here. Let's go next. Alright. Immediately rewarded. Let's play the pair of kings. Okay. Pair of aces doesn't win. That's okay. Pair of nines does win. Do we want to stall? We probably can't. With the blue seal, we're probably very safe. Alright. So Mercury's fine. Do we want overstock? We already have overstock. I guess if there's temperance here, we might as well do it. With Supernova on 29, I can probably take rebate here if we want. Instead of the swashbuckler. Rebate is a little bit awkward with the ramen, but probably still viable. So let's do that. Temperance and then overstock. He could be astronomer with the extra overstock and then extra planet cards. Astronomer can give us money. We also get free celestial packs. I kind of like that instead of the rebate because rebate is a little bit awkward with ramen. Rebate's definitely better, but maybe it's worth it. Sure. Rebate is perishable. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, celestial pack's free. So this stuff we don't care about, we'll just take a Mars card and then go next. Okay. Alright, pair of the kings. Throw away the low cards. This pair is 17. Okay, so we can win with 3 pairs. I can win with a pair of 10s. I could sandbag a little bit here. So this scores less points. And then play the pair of aces. That's it. Okay, so the gold card cancels out the rental fee. Rental fee takes me down to 11. That's fine, I guess. Oh, I forgot about the mime giving us an extra $3. Maybe I'm supposed to sell Venus there for an extra $1 of interest. Alright, so we could take these planet cards. We might be interested in an Arcana pack. Maybe. Let's go Celestial pack first. So that gives me Mercury, which is great. And then do we want the Arcana pack? Probably we can afford it. I guess it's kind of sad if we miss, but probably we can afford it. Could be a Death card. Death card doesn't really help, but we could make a Steel card. So I have 9s, 10s, queens. None of those are here. So maybe I go... maybe I make a Steel 8 or Steel King. Maybe a Steel King is better than using a Death card here. Steel card could be useful later on with the mime. Let's go next. Boss is playing only one type of hand. Alright, I really want to keep the gold card, but I also want to keep Ramen alive. So I guess I play the pair of 10s, which is a little bit sad, but I think we gotta do it. All right. Pair of jacks and then pair of eights wins. So eights win. We can stall, maybe. And then let's see here. So 2 rentals takes me down to 12, 15. Okay. And then pair the eights. All right. In the next round, we need 90,000, but we get 20,000 per hand, right? There's another Celestial Pack for free. Get a Mercury card. Okay, so do we need Hierophant? Do we need Empress to help us win the next round? Or are we good here? I think with that extra Mercury card, we should be good. So let's just go next. All right. We cannot afford to waste any hands. Okay, I can play a pair of jacks. I probably should throw away the ace. In that case, we keep the 4. Alright, I can play a pair of 8s and then light on 3s, light on 2s, maybe? So this doesn't win. But then that's not good. Alright, so probably we discard for a 9, maybe? Ow. I can play the pair of 10s. I could try to discard for the blue seal. I think I just ship it here. So the gold card cancels out the rental fees. We can sell 1 planet card for $1 of interest. Let's do that. 1-9 on the ramen. That's not good. Now we don't have enough points for the next round, maybe. So Mercury helps. And then we can go Celestial Pack here. Too late for the bus. But 2 Celestial Packs, that should get it done. This Mars card doesn't really help. But we have a Mega Celestial Pack. Could be... this really doesn't help. Since we have Supernova, right? I could take Justice. I guess Justice is plus 10 molt. Maybe that's not necessary. I'm gonna take it just to be safe. Better safe than pregnant. Alright, let's start with... I could play a pair of 2s. Let's go 8s, throwing away the 2s. That seems fine. Right, so that's 30. I could do 9s and then 10s. Pair the 10s. Throwing away Jack and King here. So we have another pair of 10s, so we can't lose. We just play the 10s and then play the more 10s. Or we could discard. I think I'd rather play the 10s and keep the ramen. So let's do that. Ooh, crunchy. Losing a 10 is not great because we want to keep the gold 10 in hand. But we do get 2 Mercury cards, which means we'll be fine in the next round. Could be a death card. I think foil Onyx Agate here instead of Astronomer is not entirely useless. But probably Death, Justice, Paintbrush, all of this is fine. Let's go Arcana, or sorry, Celestial Pack first. Or some stuff that we don't care about. Yeah, so maybe Justice, maybe Death, for sure, hand size, and then Arcana. Could be Strength or Emperor. I probably want to save Death for the blue seal. So let's just go Strength. If we're going to strengthen, we probably Want to make more 9s because we have the gold seal 9. We want to make more queens, so I could turn a jack into a queen. Maybe do something like that. And then go next. Alright, so let's start with the 6s. Technically we're light on 8s, so maybe we keep the 7. Yeah, that's 40,000. Alright, so pair the 7s for another 40,000. The next pair we play wins. I could play high card. I could try to play a pair without the ramen, and then maybe it's only 20,000 points. Maybe. Let's just go high card here. So high card ace for the square value. And then I think I continue to save death for the blue seal. I could make another glass card. If I do make a glass card, we want glass queen probably. Or glass 9s. Let's go glass queen. I don't think I used death to copy the steel card. I think we just play the 9s here. Alright, 2 rentals again. Ouch. But starting in the next round, we have 40,000 per hand, so we should be fine. Could be seeing double instead of astronomer. I think that's a reasonable way to close it out here. Let's go Celestial Pack first. There's another Mercury card. Planet cards, we can sell them. And then swap Astronomer for seeing double. We could look inside the Mega Spectral Pack. No Hex here, no Onk here. I guess Black Hole. We could go Aura on the blue seal. Get a holographic. Alright, so maybe I'm light on 3s. I could turn a 3 into a queen. Like that. And then use the death card. Or sorry, use the black hole. So now I need more clubs. I only have 10 clubs on the deck, but this is probably worth it. Go next. Alright, now we're broke. But that's okay. So I don't want to play the pair of 2s yet. I could play the pair of 10s first. That's 50. Pair of queens for another 50. Okay. I want to play high card 9 for the money. And I can finish with the pair of 2s. Sure. Alright, there's a pair of 2s. Did not get the blue seals. That's okay, I guess. Play the pair of 2s. Alright, 100,000 per hand. No problem. This boss, we gotta play 5 cards. That's awkward, but acceptable. Probably strength card makes us safe getting the pairs. And then we could take an Arcana pack. I think we can afford it. So there's Temperance for 10 bucks, or we can hang them. Probably worth it to remove cards. So maybe we can remove a 3 and maybe a 3 and a 4, I guess. Yeah, maybe a 3 and a 2, doesn't matter. Okay, and then take the strength card. Probably trying to turn jacks into queens, turn 8 into 9s. Let's go next. All right, I did get the blue seal, so let's start with the pair of 2s, which we know is 100,000. And then I have that jack I could turn into a queen. I can play this pair of aces, which is that's only 50,000, but that's okay. Do I want to use my strength yet or not yet? So this is fine for 50,000. And then Jack into Queen, 8 into 9. Sure. I could play the pair of 9s. Next pair wins. So I could play the pair of queens and then that's it. I don't need both blue seals, but I do want both gold cards probably. Losing the glass queen is probably fine. Yeah. Oh well. Alright. Mercury. And then... So, it could be a moon. Now that we have all these queens, we could turn... Well, we have 6 queens. I guess I want to turn one more queen into clubs. I want to turn one more 9 into clubs. This boss is going to be extra large. That's not good. So, probably we want a glass card. Probably we want to make more steel cards. Probably the way that we get there is by getting arrow cards. So it could be death here, but I don't have any steel cards to copy. Probably I copy a 9. So I can turn... I could use the moon now and then copy a 9 of clubs, maybe. So what else do we have? We have... could be 7s, could be 6s. Could be maybe 10s and jacks, I don't know. Let's go turn these into clubs and then maybe drop the 4 or drop the 8, turn the 8 into a 9, maybe. Alright, we need something. Could be a buffoon pack, could be lovers. What does a buffoon pack do? Buffoon pack maybe replaces mime. Let's go next. Alright, let's start with the pair of 5s, holding on to not the 2. I do want to keep the 9, maybe I don't keep the ace. Play the pair of 5s. Alright, so that's 60,000. Here's not a pair. Is okay to have one hand that's not a pair. Okay. Pair the 7s, this is going to be 120. Throwing away the jack. Okay, and then we play the pair of 9s. We don't get the blue seal value, and that's okay. That's okay. Alright, my clubs pairs are 150 each, so that's not good. Could be a death card on the steel card, probably. Go next. Alright, so I could play the pair of 9s now. I could play the pair of 7s first. Let's go 9s first. Alright, so that's 170. If I do this pair of 7s, it's going to be half as much, right? Okay, and the next pair wins. I could stall by playing a high card here, and then finish with the 9s, it looks like. Alright, so I could turn a 2 into a steel king. Seems useful, and then play the pair of 9s. Still no blue seal value. Bummer. Okay, if we get the 2 steel cards in hand, we win. Otherwise, we cry. So, how do we do it? Could be Spectral Pack. I don't think Priestess matters. Maybe Spectral Pack. If we are going to do Spectral Pack, maybe we reroll first. Could be Buffoon Pack. Fist doesn't matter. Though, I guess Fist has some utility with the steel card. Anyway, let's go one more. No wheel. Could be a hungman, could be a photograph. Is not enough. The supernova is plus 60. So we could take the hungman. The idea being we can draw the steel cards more easily. Go one more. So it could be Mercury, it could be a moon. Probably Spectral Pack. Gold Seal here doesn't matter. Ouija might matter. We can use Ouija to set up our pairs, actually. I like that idea. I also like just using the Hungman here, but maybe Ouija matters. Let's do that. Get a bunch of 5s. That's okay. 12 5s. Okay. Mercury, and then the 5s that I have, I only have 2 5s of clubs, so maybe it makes sense to take the moon here and go next. Alright, this is going to be rough, admittedly. The number one thing we need to do is find the steel cards. So maybe we even use our discards first to find the steel cards. We lose ramen value, but if we don't get the steel cards, we just lose anyway. Okay, that's not great. We have 1 steel card. Okay, so I need to use the moon on the 5s. And then what else? We have pairs of 9s, not really. 6s, no. 8s, no. 4s, no. Maybe the ace. So I want to play this pair of 5s. We have no 8s. We have 1 6. No 4s. So play something like that. Alright, so ramen is smaller. I need to draw my other steel card. My ace is clubs. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. We can throw away a 10. Do we throw away the aces? Probably. And then the queen. Alright, I really need the other steel card. So there's the steel card. I can play pair the queens and then pair the 5s. And then that's it. That's the best we can do. So holographic helps. And then pair the 5s. Ah, bummer. Yeah, that was a tough one. I guess this is what happens when you play only pairs. I guess there are sometimes when you're playing pairs, you're not necessarily scoring that much per hand, and so if you have either the wall and ante 7 is pretty tough, or sometimes no repeat hand types boss. Sometimes the needle you only play 1 hand, or of course the violet vessel is the tough one. Then yeah, sometimes the pairs aren't going to be enough. We did come pretty close, so maybe definitely taking the rental square was a big risk. With it being a rental, maybe we've got 2 rentals. We got rental square, we got rental supernova. So I guess the idea is with those 2 rentals, it's keeping me from shopping. It's keeping me from re-rolling. Maybe in the shop we could have eventually found some other scoring joker. Maybe something like an acrobat or card shark would have been the best. Could have been maybe blackboard or constellation, or there's lots of different things, uncommon jokers that we could have gotten. Not necessarily all of them, but any one of them. But the idea is if you have ramen and you have square and supernova, you have scaling chips, you have scaling molt, and then some X molt, not necessarily a lot of X molt, but just something like ramen or seeing double or something like that. Then that's almost all that you need. You don't really need more than that. So if you have even the 2 rentals prevent you from shopping, prevent you from buying other stuff, then maybe you don't really need to buy that much other stuff. Maybe you're already scaling enough each round. If you're getting +4 molts and then plus 16 chips every round, that's kind of like 1.5 planet cards every round, and then maybe sprinkle in some blue seals or something like that. This felt like a reasonable build, a reasonable plan. The early game was definitely rough, forced us into these early rentals, and then because we had these rentals, then it kind of remained rough for the rest of the run. Maybe we could have made the red card work instead of doing the rental supernova. Maybe one rental instead of 2 rentals. Maybe with ramen, maybe what we could have done is we could have discarded a little bit more aggressively in ante 6 and 7. Because then we could have drawn the gold cards and we could have gotten the blue seals and just a little bit more scaling. And so maybe the extra blue seal scaling that you get from the mime and the extra money that you get from the gold cards, maybe that's worth it. And then you can replace the ramen with something else. I don't know. Unfortunate. We came close though. Curious to see how other people did. Take care, everyone.